What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and welcome back to another cool review. And seeing how we're coming very, very close to the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Doesn't feel as jolly this year, not because of, 2020 and all, but still, it's gonna be Christmas soon, so I figured I'd do a Christmas movie, of course. Today's Christmas movie we're gonna be reviewing is A Christmas Story. One of my favorite, personally, to watch around the holidays. It's I'd like to watch it like every single year on Christmas, or on Christmas Eve. Usually we watch Christmas movies. So the basic summary of the plot without spoilers, even though this movie is, it's fairly old. It's not like super old. It's not like Psycho old, but it's fairly old. So, but still, no spoil. I won't spoil it for you. I'm nice like that. So the movie centers around a kid named Ralphie and the rest of his family, and he's just living a normal life. And I believe in the movie it's about like a week or two, or like a few days before Christmas comes, and the one thing he wants is a Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah, that famous BB gun everyone loved to play with as a kid. Yeah, this movie, it shows it's how old it is, because of, there's a lot of toys that a lot of people don't play with anymore. But hey, not judging. So he wants the BB gun, and well, his family won't let him because there's this infamous catchphrase that they keep saying in the movie: "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." You have no idea how well that line has worked its way out of the movie, and how many people quote that. That's just very memorable, very memorable. So basically, the rest of the movie is just Ralphie trying so hard to persuade his family to get him a Red Ryder BB gun before Christmas, and his misadventures with his family, with his friends, in school, out of school, along the way. So this movie is very, 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 I think, relatable for a lot of people, because I think we've all, as either a little kid or an adult, we've all wanted something either around Christmas or on our birthday, or just from in general, and we just couldn't get it. We couldn't get it because either our parents didn't want us to get it, or there's an outside interference that stopped us from getting it. I think we've all had that sort of experience. So this movie is very relatable there, and also it does a really great job conveying everyday life from the eyes of a little kid, getting bad grades in school, just getting into a fight, and your dad raging at you, just all that kind of stuff. They do it so well. In the eyes of Ralphie, it's just a great way of conveying the story and moving it forward in a way. So, with that out of the way, let's get to some of the pros of this movie. Some of the other pros that I have in this movie. Pro number one is the characters are really likable, very, very likable. Sure, they can be mean sometimes, but I feel like that's what makes them human, and that's why I like them so much, because they act so human. Like Ralphie's mother, she is caring and supportive, but she's also very strict and stern when she needs to be at Ralphie. Ralphie's brother is a big whiny, little bro, but he also cares for Ralphie, which is very sweet. His father is very, uptight and very, grouchy at stuff, but he still has a warm heart deep down, those kind of characters. They're just so human, with human morals, human thoughts, that they just seem so relatable, and you can fall, in love with them. You can attach to them very easily that way. And that's not to say all the characters are that human. There are a few that are really just there to just serve their one character trait. But nevertheless, they kind of poke fun at and also embrace those character traits, though, those typical character tropes. Because there's this one bully, Scott Farkus, and he is literally one of the most cliched film bullies I've ever seen. Because he has all the mannerisms of a classic bully. He doesn't really have much human characteristics outside of that. He's just there to be the bully, but he's just such a good bully. He's they're funny. He and his little twerp is just funny, and they're both they have some funny moments here in the movie. And towards the end, Scott Farkus has a really funny but also pretty brutal scene towards the end with Ralphie. So characters like that are very one-dimensional. There's also the bad mall Santa, which I understand why he's so one-note, because he really just has one scene to shine, and it leads to one of my favorite use of a wide-angle lens shot ever in that part with Santa. So that is also very good. And it's also really, again, really well-told story, because he just wants a Red Ryder BB gun, but like the lengths that they go to make everyday life for Ralphie as climactic and epic and cinematic as possible is very, very funny, especially in the hallucinations he has about getting his Red Ryder BB gun and playing with it, you know, sometime in the movie. It's really funny, very well done. And also, this movie just feels little in the very, very, like, in a very special kind of way. Like, there's little scenes in the movie that just feel real because they are so little. Like, this movie doesn't rely on, like, the major moments. They don't rely on, like, pushing the plot forward. They take some time to, you know, give these characters their humanity, give these characters their, you know, a look into their everyday life and how they are as people, which I really do appreciate. It really, I think, just makes this story seem believable, and it makes this story seem all the more real. Even though we know it's not real, but it just feels real, you know? And also, one more thing, the narrator is great. There's, I think the author of the book that this was made based on does the narrator's voice, and God, he's so amazing, he's so good. He just has such a great delivery of these dramatic quote-unquote moments in the movie that is just so much fun to listen to. So, yeah, he's also amazing in this as well. But there are a few cons, not a lot, but a few, so let's go over them really quick. Con number one is that, I feel like some of the plot points in it didn't really go anywhere. Now, don't get me wrong, do not get me wrong. There are little scenes, I was just talking about the little scenes that don't necessarily progress the story, and I do still like those, but I'm talking specifically the stuff at school with his friends, like, I would have liked to see a little bit more of them, like their relevance in the story. I get it, because we want to see Ralphie in school, and we want to see how he does in that in-school life, but I don't know, I just feel like for all the time he spent with his friends, they didn't really get to do a whole lot in the grand scheme of the story, but, you know, just there's a minor nitpick there. Also, some of the jokes do not land. Most of the jokes are hilarious, okay? Most of the jokes are witty, they're dry, they're funny, and a few of them are even mean-spirited, but in a very, you know, entertaining sort of way. But when they fall flat, it can be a little awkward to watch. But honestly, other than that, like, two minor nitpicks and, like, just some of the jokes not landing, this movie holds up extremely well, extraordinarily well. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 leg lamps out of 5, because this movie is just such a Christmas classic, and it holds up very well for a reason. The characters are endearing, the story is timeless, you know, it's relatable, the setting is just very well, you know, established, the tone is very well established, the humor is, like, for the most part, very, very well done. Sure, the jokes may not land all the time, but just all the pros just heavily outweigh the cons, so that is why A Christmas Story gets my recommendation for you to watch if you haven't already, especially around Christmas time. It's going to be a very fun watch for you, I guarantee it. Though that, guys, is going to wrap it up for this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments what you thought of Christmas Story, and leave a like. And until next time, guys, stay cool, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye, y'all.